For those that have subscribed to my channel, thanks for doing that. This is Scotty recording from Muniac Manor, an analog man in a digital world on the cutting edge of obsolete technology. I've found that older components are still pretty good. Many have stood the test of time and proven themselves reliable in applications. Such has been my experience over the last 40 years of creating solutions for customers. Your choices may vary according to personal preferences, however. This video is going to explain how to use the lightweight editor Genie to create a robust IDE for creating C programs and flashing the Arduino Nano PCB on a Linux platform. I've used Genie for over 5 years and prefer it to the stock sketchbook editor. Some of the C programs I've written are 5,000 lines or more. As of September 2022, Genie is at version 1.38.0. It will run on Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. Details on Genie and a download can be found at www.genie.org, spelled G-E-A-N-Y. Genie provides a lot of nice features that help with creating C source. Features like keyword searching, autocomplete, line number searching, and much more are helpful. There are a few hurdles you'll need to jump to get Genie working smoothly. Step 1 is to install Genie on your system. If you don't have it installed, install the Arduino core. On Linux, simply use your software install menu as follows. I'm on Linux, and here's my version, Linux Mint 20.3 UNA, and you'll see here I've got my Genie icon. So let's go ahead and see how to get that on the desktop. So you can go in here to your software manager, wherever that may be and whatever that is, and type in Genie, and you'll see here it'll come up. I've got a green check mark here. It's already installed, so if you don't see that, you'll want to hit this and just install it. It installs pretty quickly. It's kind of a small program. They say here fast and lightweight IDE, which it is. So we can do that. The other thing you'll want to do is type in Arduino, get that typed in, and you'll want to have the Arduino core. Again, green check mark. It's already been installed on my system, but make sure that's installed. So that said, you should be able to see a Genie icon on your desktop. We can double click on that. This is what the editor looks like. It's blank, nothing loaded yet. So this is what you want to make sure is working for the rest of this video. You're going to need to have this editor since it's central to the theme of this video. So we'll come back to getting a program loaded and looking at some of the special features and a few of the hurdles you'll have to jump to get this to work with your Arduino. So that's the story with that, and we'll just go ahead and go to the next step here. Before we dive deeper into this project, you'll need a USB-A male to Mini-B cable for flashing the Nano PCB. You'll also need an Arduino Nano, which I recommend being a genuine product, not a knockoff. Mouser Electronics stocks these boards for around 25 bucks. I'd add, if the stock Arduino IDE works for your project, stick with that. One perk is the USB serial communications that allows program variables to be displayed in real time. This may help with debugging. Per previous videos, all my projects had an LCD, which I use for debugging. I also use the UART engine, which interferes with the USB interface. More details on that in another video. You should have a Genie icon on your desktop. Go ahead and open up that editor. I've got the blink.c program already loaded in here, just as an example. One little tidbit of information that might be helpful. If for some reason you're using underscores in your variables and they don't display, I found that it's related to the font. So you can go into Preferences, Interface, and change this font. Liberation Mono, Regular, 10 point, and these settings here solve that problem. So all the characters that you would be needing to create source code work perfectly. So if you do have that problem, just go in here and pick another font, and it's kind of hit or miss, but you'll find one in there that will work. So just be aware of that. So here's a little program, and we've got this build tab up here, and in Genie you go down here to the set build commands, and it allows you to create custom commands for the compile menu button and the build menu button. And I've just added in these shell scripts, invocation of these shell scripts. So the %E and the %F simply are the current editor's file name with and without the extension. So they're just passed in, and then in the shell script they're picked up as $1 and $2. So we'll see how that works. So that's really important and kind of ties this whole system together. So we can go back into build and we can just do a compile. And you'll see here that this compiled without any errors. And let me go ahead here and mess this up just as an example. And let's do another, we'll clear this out, clear that, and let's do another compile. Okay, so you can see what happened. We got an error, we expected it, and it highlighted where that error was in the source code. If this is a big long-winded program like many pages, you can click on this and it will go back up to this line and it'll put you right there. So we'll just go ahead and fix that, put the N back in, and then we can go ahead and recompile and we get a clean compile. So that executed the compile shell script, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then we can actually go ahead and flash the Arduino board. So that's going on right now. These are the commands or the output lines that you would see if you were running this in a terminal window. So we're all done. AVR do done, thank you. So we flashed this program out to the Arduino board. Well, let's take a look at those shell scripts, and we will go ahead there and open the compile one first. And here it is. It's all ready to go. I have a link in the comments description down below for a zip file that has all this stuff in there, so you can just go and get that and unzip it and put it in your folder and it'll be ready to go. But where did this come from? There are two radio buttons in the Arduino IDE preferences that allow you to see the compile and the flashing commands that the IDE system builds. There's an information window down at the bottom with it, and it will go ahead, and it's a long-winded thing, but it'll spit out all these commands that it built automatically for you. So I just went in and I pulled out the one for the compiler, and I just cut it and pasted it and put it in here, and I did the substitution with the $1 and $2 over here. So I got my my program and my object file names proper. So you can do that if you want to play around with it. It's already been done here and it's ready to go. The other shell script that you'll need is the build. Again, this is the same thing. The subdirectories where these tools are found are up here in symbolic substitution variables, and they're included down here. So this is pretty typical of what you'll see on Linux, pretty standard, but you can change these if you need to. The other tool that for some reason doesn't seem to exist anymore, and it's in the zip file, is the size tool, the AVR size. So that, for some reason, that one wasn't around. So, but it's an old version that you can use it. It works pretty well. It tells you the number of bytes that are in the hex file that will be uploaded. So this is all ready to go. I had a little glitch with the baud rate with my Nano 3 board. For some reason, the IDE was setting it at 57.6, and I was getting timeout errors, and it was kind of driving me crazy. And I finally figured out that that board requires 115.2 kilobaud. So that parameter or switch is down here, and I've got it set so it works well with the Arduino Nano V3 board. So that's what you're seeing here. So that's kind of how that works. It's a nice system, this editor. I've run some pretty large programs through this editor. It's really nice. It has the ability to do keyword search, so I could do a keyword here, set up, and you'll see that come right back here. If there were multiple instances of this, I can just hit this and it'll just keep finding next, next, next. And I can also do a line number search, and I can hit that and you'll see that comes right down there. Another nice feature is the find and replace. That's really, really good. If you develop a program and you've got a variable name that's strung through the entire program, maybe you've got a 3,000 or 4,000 line program and you decide, oh, I want to rename a variable. This is really, really convenient. You can find that variable and you can replace it. And you can either let the editor do it globally, or you can let it stop at each location of that variable, because sometimes you might have commented that variable and used it there, and you may or may not want to replace it, or there may be situations where it finds a piece of something else that is included in that. You don't really want to replace it, so you can sort of do it piecemeal, one replacement at a time. Nice editor, got a lot of options, auto indent, and a whole bunch of options in here that you can explore. A lot of things in the preference area here, all kinds of stuff that you can customize and get this to be really, really nice. I've used this editor for about 5 years. I really like it. It's been a nice tool. It works really well for the type of programming and flashing that I'm doing. So hopefully this video has been helpful. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your projects. Leave me some comments, yay or nay, on how this is working out for you, so I can make corrections or maybe put out a better video. But anyway, thanks again for watching, and good luck with your projects. Don't forget to check out the zip file link in the description so you can set up this IDE on your PC. See you next time.